Live from our studios in Hastings and Grand Island, NBC Nebraska Midday starts now.
The family of the man killed in a Merrick County crash last month will need to wait another week to learn more about the crash that took a young man's life. That's our top story on NBC Nebraska Midday. I'm Natalie Wood. Shelby is on assignment this morning. The case against the 18-year-old charged in a deadly crash in Merrick County in February has been continued. Christian McMaster was due in Merrick County Court this morning. He's charged with felony motor vehicle homicide for the February 9th crash that killed 29-year-old Casey Eddy. The Merrick County attorney says Eddy was driving a pickup on Highway 92 when he was hit by two vehicles driving on Worms Road. Eddy's family told NBC Nebraska they suspect the two other vehicles were street racing. A court appearance is now set for March 11th. Meanwhile, if same-sex marriages start on Monday, county clerks need to be prepared. Clerks from 5 different central Nebraska counties tell NBC Nebraska they haven't made any special preparations yet. The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services provides county clerks with a template for a marriage license. The Howard County clerk tells us right now it's a waiting game.
Well, we've received some emails, and I have spoke with our county attorney, and what he had said is we've just been discussing. As of right now, we're not going to be doing a thing until Monday, and we'll wait and see from there.
On Monday, the Nebraska Association of County Officials sent a letter to all 93 county clerks explaining parts of the Constitution and state statutes that apply to Judge Battalion's ruling. Personal information for more than 100,000 Nebraskans is in jeopardy after a massive data breach of the country's second largest health insurer. Hackers retrieved names, addresses, and social security numbers from Anthem, which covers 14 different states across the country. Nebraska isn't on that list, but the Attorney General's office says Nebraskans who have Blue Cross Blue Shield were still compromised because of activity in other states. Now Anthem is using this time to contact the Nebraskans affected.
I feel like the way that they've reacted so far, they've been, pretty proactive in regards to this. As soon as it came out, I know that they notified, the clients that were affected by it.
Anthem will be offering a free 2-year credit monitoring service to those affected. If you've traveled to another state, used Blue Cross Blue Shield, and want to see if you're at risk, a full list of the states that Anthem covers can be found on our KSNB mobile app. And turning our attention to the weather now, we woke up to a light dusting of snow, but it might not be sticking around too long. Travis is in the Weather Center with a first look at your forecast. Travis?
Yeah, despite it being quite chilly out there and temperatures struggling to maybe try to get close to freezing this afternoon, we should see some melting thanks to that sunshine out there after picking up anywhere from about a ½ inch to about 1.5 inches of snow across the southern half of Nebraska and the northern portions of Kansas. But again, the snow is gone now. We're left with the cold conditions. It was a cold start to our day with temperatures in the single digits and lower teens. And in fact, it may be a little bit colder by tomorrow morning. But since then, we have actually warmed it up thanks to that sunshine. Temperatures are now into the low and mid-20s across most of the area. Still a few upper teens as you head towards the northwest there around Ainsworth, Valentine, and then back towards western Nebraska. As for your cloud cover, not a whole lot out there at this time. Really, there's just kind of a thin band of clouds, mostly in the southern parts of the viewing area. The snow is gone. I think we'll see mostly sunny skies much of the rest of the afternoon. Winds a little bit breezy out of the north and northwest at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, but should lighten up as we head towards the evening. And with that chilly afternoon out there, temps will really start to drop off with the lighter winds overnight tonight. But once we get past those overnight lows tonight, well, things will definitely start to improve quite quickly around here. So we'll talk about all those improvements coming up in just a few minutes. Natalie?
Okay, I definitely can't wait to hear more about that. Thanks so much, Travis. Well, currently Nebraska is the only state that doesn't allow dreamers or people who were brought into the country illegally as children to get their license. Now, a bill in the legislature is looking to change that. The bill would allow qualified youth who were granted deferred action status to get a driver's license. One Lincoln student says it doesn't make sense to give her a right to work, but not a way to get there.
And at the same time, but not being able to have a license, I am not able to fulfill that purpose like I should be able to.
Governor Pete Ricketts says he's against using taxpayer money for programs that benefit people who have entered the country illegally. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And for the next 2 weeks, students at Hastings Middle School will be getting breakfast for free. NBC Nebraska's Anastasia Champ joins us live from Hastings Middle School with more on this pilot program.
Natalie, I'm outside of Hastings Middle School where just a few hours ago, their cafeteria was absolutely packed with kids. And that's all because they were here for some free breakfast. This is a free breakfast program that Hastings Middle School has been testing for the last 3 days to see if they can implement it in the future. The pilot will only last for 2 weeks, but thus far it has garnered massive success. All the students must go through the lines, but they don't have to get breakfast. They take their food to their first period class to eat. It is free for all students, and they tell me they love it.
I sometimes don't eat breakfast at home, so I'm really hungry before lunch. So now, I eat here and I eat over there, so it fills me a lot. So I won't be getting hungry during every other class.
School officials tell me that if this pilot program is approved to be permanent, they would start the next school year. It would also remain to be a free program for all students. Now, officials say that they do serve over 600 students on average, and Hastings Middle School is not the only school that does this program. Lincoln Elementary in Hastings is also testing it out and is in their 8th day. Reporting live from Hastings, Anastasia Champ, NBC Nebraska News.
All right, sounds like a great program. Thanks, Anastasia. Well, straight ahead, Travis has your full forecast. And after that, imagine dealing with emergencies all day long. That's the reality for 911 dispatchers, how they're working to relieve some of that stress and stay healthy. That's coming up.